Alright folks, this is my last video on the magazine rack. You'll be glad to hear that, I'm sure. Ultimately I've decided not to bother staining or varnishing it. Well, at least not at the moment anyway. I asked the opinion of 2 or 3 people regarding the issue. One person said I should varnish it. 2 people said I should stain it, and one guy said just leave it as it is because the wood will darken with age, and it'll look fine as it is. And I tend to agree, to be honest with you. You know, the pine is quite a light wood. Looks quite nice and clean. Yeah, there's, like I mentioned, the wood that I have here isn't entirely the best of quality, but it looks fine, you know. You can see already that I've got it quite full. The top 2 shelves are, you know, they'll take a little bit more, but not much. The 3rd shelf down is mostly full, although here on the right I've got some books in there which I don't know if I'll keep them there. I might end up shifting them back onto a shelf I've got, or into a bookcase. This unit is solely intended for the Model Engineer magazines that I possess. So these newer issues in the larger format, I haven't got them sorted yet. They're all just in here, higgledy-piggledy, as we say in Scotland. Or maybe other countries as well, I don't know. And I've got 3 boxes here that I haven't even opened yet. So I've got plenty of the more, well, I wouldn't say recent, I don't know when this new format dates back to, but it's I'm missing quite a lot of the older magazines, which I'm going to have to search for. They're quite hard to come by, and some people want sort of silly money for each magazine. You know, 20 pence, 30 pence, I'd pay that for one of these little magazines. But you know, they're wanting £6 and £7, which is just, you know, very few people are going to actually pay that. Some of the content is interesting, but a lot of it is out of date. There's a lot of adverts which have a historical interest, I suppose, but you know, most people are buying these magazines up for the little plans and drawings of the various engines and models that you can build. A vertical steam engine and centrifugal pump, for instance. So you know, you've got the plans here to build a miniature of that. You know, 3.5 inch or 35mm camera. These days with digital cameras, I doubt if anyone's going to bother with that. And you never know though, there might be some photography of photographers with an interest in some of this. A chiming gear for the battery driven electric clock. So again, you know, it's quite very niche interests, a lot of this. I like these magazines because, you know, yeah, they are interesting. They provide a sort of window into the past, if you like, a simpler time almost. Torque control for the self-acting feed. So I'm assuming that's got something to do with propellers, or I don't know. No, maybe not. With small centre lathes of the bench type, when turning shouldered shafts or boring and threading blind holes to precision limits of accuracy and length, the depth of the hole, etc. Well, I'll read this another time. This is, if you want to read that yourself, you're going to have to buy the magazine or find a copy somewhere. But you know, little things like this I find quite interesting. A corner of FGB's home workshop. So this old chap here, God rest his soul, had a little workshop set up in his, well, a study or a living room or a corner of his house anyway. He had a lathe on top of a cabinet there. He had a variety of spanners and chisels and pliers and God only knows what else is there. He even had a little milling machine there, look. And a pedestal drill. So he was fully kitted out. It's the, you know, it's things like that that I'm interested in. You know, the lathes, the little workshop, all the old fixtures and techniques these guys used to build whatever they were building. You know, it's quite a technical subject. You know, being, you know, a machinist, and there's a lot of ways they'll do, you know, the same thing. Some better than others. But I'm not so much interested in the trains and the boats and stuff like that. I like the engines and I like the. I do like the models. I like to look at them. You know, how they go about designing the hulls, for instance, is quite interesting. You know, how they actually do the smaller, finer details in the boats is also quite a challenge, technically. But it's not something I'd be interested in doing myself. It's, you know, I like the magazines for the equipment that you see, and you know, a lot of the equipment is either affordable for the home workshop, or it's something that you could possibly manufacture yourself, given the right materials and a decent set of plans. So yeah, volume 105, I don't know if you recall from one of my previous videos, I was missing volume 105. Well, it wasn't that I'm missing volume 105, it's just that I've only got one copy of it. So I'm missing the majority of it. So anyway, that's my magazine rack / bookshelf. I was concerned that the shelves might not be of sufficient strength to support the weight of the magazines without bowing, but they seem to be holding up quite well. You know, I don't know if I'm imagining it. I think they may be bowing slightly, but certainly not enough to affect the magazines in any way. This is an interesting point. Yet another format of the magazine. Again, there's a height discrepancy between these magazines and the more modern ones, which are much tighter to the bench or the shelf support. But the magazines, the rack or the shelves are going to be quite happy with either. As you can see, that shelf there has a significant weight on it, and it's maybe slightly bowed. I don't know. It's just very difficult to see, you know, with the naked eye. I don't think there's much of a bow in it, if any. But it's going to be up to the job, I think. I'm quite pleased with the result. Well, now that it's fully loaded, you know, you got to put a. I don't know if you'll pick this up. You can see it does move if I pull at it, but I can't actually tip it over towards me, and I can't get a strong enough grip on the shelf to do so. If I hold it at the back here, you've got to put a fairly significant pressure on it to pull it forward. You could do it, but it's not going to fall over. That's my point. So I'm not going to bother fixing it to the wall. It's fairly sturdy. I'm quite satisfied. So that's 10 minutes, folks. That's my project complete, and on to the next one now, I guess. I've got a lot of videos to upload. I kind of fell behind. I was able to record video using the camera here, but I wasn't able to compress it due to the technical issue I've mentioned previously. So I've got a bit of a backlog of videos to get compressed and uploaded, and I'm already thinking of other projects I can be getting on with. I've done a little bit of work to my carpenter's chest. I've been busy with restoring some old hand tools, you know, planes and old hand drills and bits and pieces like that. So I've got lots of that sort of stuff to do, among other things. But oh yeah, one other thing is that I finally got some half decent recording software for in-game video capture. So the Supreme Commander video I posted earlier, or was it late last week now? I might actually do a few more of them because I quite enjoyed that. You know, the strategic quality of the game is quite an interesting topic to me, and I'm sure many others. So I might do some more of that. Yeah, so right, thanks for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this short series on building a magazine rack. Bye for now.